everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk, and thank you very, very much for joining me today. Today it is Inspire Ink Saturday. Now if you don't know what that is, well, I'm going to tell you. I belong to a group of Stampin' Up demonstrators, and we take it in turns to set a theme for each of us to use to create something, and then when we've done that, we all put what we've made onto our own blogs, and we all link up. And if you want to see what everybody's been up to, well, you can start at my blog. The address is in the more information box below, and you can just work your way around and see what my fellow demonstrators have been up to. The theme this week is this month I should say, is weddings. And for me it's a particularly appropriate one because my husband and I have just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary. It's an awfully long time. Yeah, I'm going to make something with that theme. Stay with me and I'll show you what I've come up with. Here are the supplies that I'm planning to use today. My card base is a piece of thick Whisper White, and it's 4 inches by 11.5, scored and folded at 5 3/4. I have a piece of glimmer paper. Now this is the paper that is in the Spring Summer catalogue. It is going to be retiring, but they are going to be bringing back an iridescent glimmer paper in the new catalogue. So it's sort of retiring and sort of not. Oh, and that is 3 3/4 by 5.5. Piece of vellum that is 3.5 by 5 1/4. That's going to sit on the front. I've got some basic black card and some Whisper White card that I'm going to be stamping and punching on, and I've also got a little scrap previously used of powder pink. I want a bit of bling, so I've got my pearl basic jewels. I've got my Sweet and Sassy framelets. Got a little scrap of the polka dot tulle ribbon, which is coming in the new annual catalogue, and that is super pretty. I've got about 3 inches there. Probably don't even need that much, just need a little tiny scrap for what I've got in mind. My softly falling embossing folder. I'm going to be using a stamp from the Bunch of Blossoms stamp set, Versamark ink, silver embossing powder, and I'm going to be using my cat punch. I'm going to die cut the heart out of the vellum, and then I'm going to take my vellum and run it back through my Big Shot with the softly falling embossing folder, and I'm going to put it so that the concentration of these little dots are at the top of my vellum, so that it will be kind of like that. So I'm going to go away and do that, and then I will come right back. I'm back with my embossed and die cut piece of vellum, and it is important that you do it in the order of cut first, emboss second, because if you emboss first and then cut it out, you will flatten down all of that lovely embossing that you've just put in to your vellum. And because it is vellum, when you emboss it, it goes from translucent to white, so you get this lovely sort of snowflake effect. So I'm going to go put that on one side and move on to the next step of my card. Because I've embossed my vellum and the surface is now textured, it's going to be very difficult to stamp a sentiment directly onto it. So I haven't even tried. What I've done is I've taken the piece that I cut out, and I've stamped my sentiment, which is "Let's Celebrate Today," onto that. Use Versamark embossing ink and silver embossing powder and heat embossed it. So now I have my message, and I'm going to take one of the smaller hearts from the Sweet Sassy framelets, and I'm going to cut that out. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'm going to have cats on my wedding card because I like cats, and so does my husband, and why not? So I'm going to have a little bride cat and a little groom cat. So I'm going to punch 2 Whisper White cats. I love this punch. Absolutely love this punch. and one basic black cat. Okay, right. So that is going to be my boy cat, my groom cat, and one of these is going to be my bride cat. So they're going to go like that. So I'm going to put my little bride cat on one side for a moment, and yeah, I'm going to perform a bit of an operation on this cat. I'm going to cut off its head. Oh no, poor cat. But it's all right. It's only paper. No cats are harmed. And I'm going to chop a sort of arrow shape out of that one, and that is going to be my tomcat's shirt. So should he be actually, should he be on the right? Should he be on the left? I think maybe my boy cat should be that side round. Not that it matters, it's just a bit of paper. And is that the right way? Let me just make sure I haven't... Nope, I think the other way is the right way. So I'm going to put just a little spot. Actually, that's running a little bit runny today. It's quite warm, and it seems to have affected my adhesive. So what I'm going to do the back of the hand trick. There we go. Just pop that onto his front, to dry, and I'm going to bring in my bride cat. Now for her veil, I've got a piece of the tuxedo tulle. Got tuxedos on the brain. Oh, what is the matter with me? We have one little bit of warm weather in this country and everyone goes mad. So where is my most recent glue dot? There we go. I'll get rid of that bit. Don't need that anymore. So I'm going to take my piece of dotted tulle ribbon and I'm going to put a little twist around about there. And I'm going to get a glue dot. Come on, glue dot. Don't let me down. And I'm going to use that to hold the twist in place. Okay. And now I'm going to take my ribbon scissors, which are different from my paper scissors. I keep them for ribbon. Don't usually remember to use them. And I put a different charm on these so I know which is which. And I'm just going to chop that off and put those safely out of my reach so I don't forget and try to use them as paper scissors again. Okay. Another glue dot onto the back of my little cat's head this time, and I'm going to arrange this and get this the way I want it. Yeah, just arrange this over my little cat so that she looks like she's got a rather fancy veil with a bit of a train. Okay, and where have I put my pearls? Here they are, they're over here. And we'll have another glue dot, even though these are self-adhesive because they're going to be going onto a textured surface, so the more insurance we can give them, the better. Let's have a medium-sized pearl, I think. Just to hold that in place. And there you go. I could leave my little groom cat just like that, but I've decided I want to give him a fancy bow tie. And in the cookie cutter punch, there is a little bow tie. Now he's fine as he is, so if you haven't got this particular punch and it's still around, so you can still get it, then that would be fine. And I'm also going to punch out this little heart over here. I might do, I think I'll do a few of those just in case I decide to pop a few powder pink hearts about the place. And this is what your little scraps of paper are ideal for. They're absolutely perfect for. Okay. So there's his bow tie, which is a real pussycat bow on him. I don't know what's gotten into my adhesive today. It's very runny. We have had unusually fine weather for the time of year, so I think maybe my adhesive is a bit more liquid than usual. I don't know. Right, shall I give him a little pearl in the middle of his bow tie? What do you think? No, yes, yes, no? Yes. And off camera, I've glued my vellum to my my glimmer paper. The reason why I did it off camera, I did it ahead of time, was because I wanted to use a liquid adhesive because I'm sticking vellum, which isn't very porous, it isn't very absorbent, to glimmer paper, which unless it's completely encapsulated, which this isn't, and I think it affects the appearance of the glitter anyway. You will always get a little bit of shedding. The Stampin' Up glimmer paper is very, very good. It doesn't shed much, but you're always going to get a little bit of glitter shedding. It's just, it is what it is, and that's what it does. Now, I expected to be able to see where I'd applied my adhesive. And therefore I was going to use a bit of ribbon across where it was going to show to hide it. But as it turns out, I can't really see where that glue has gone. So I'm not going to use that bit of ribbon. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And I'm just going to finish off assembling my card. So I've got my boy and girl cats, my Tom and my Queen, and I'm going to start by putting them down. Now again, liquid adhesive, because it's vellum and because it's glimmer. So I want these to stick down quite well, and I'm positioning him so that the tip of his ear is just below where the heart is coming down, and his beautiful bride, here she is. And oops. Okay, so let's make sure that they are well stuck down. Right, because these are difficult media for adhesive. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, but not the easiest thing in the world. Not the easiest thing in the world to photograph too. I've just looked at my monitor. Sorry. Okay, so for the sentiment, which is going to go around about there, I'm going to use some glue dots, and I'm going to position them carefully behind my stamping. Let me put that where I can see it, so that the words on the front will cover up where the glue dots. They are pretty good for vellum glue dots. They're quite transparent. But whatever you put on vellum, it's going to show. So you want to try and hide it as much as possible, going to cough. Excuse me, sorry about that, had to cough. So let's just stick those down, and there we go, that's the front of the card. Let's bring the card base in. Now for this bit, tear and tape would work. If you've still got any fuse, that would work. Snail would work, but since I happen to have my trusty liquid adhesive handy, that is what I'm going to use. And there it is. I might snick a little bit more adhesive under his tail, just to hold that down a bit, and a bit there as well. Okay, so I'm going to give that some time for the adhesive to set, but there it is. There is my card on the theme of weddings. Here's my finished card on the theme of weddings, and I'd absolutely love it if you would go on over to my blog, details below, and work your way around the blog hop and see what the rest of the team have been up to. But that is it for now. I do thank you very, very much for joining me. I'd absolutely love it if you came back and saw me again soon. But for now, that is it for today. Bye bye.